friends, so this time we are back again with the review of another great pen from Kaweco. This is Kaweco Supra Brass. Kaweco German company ships the pen in retro styled cardboard and tin boxes, and this is a cardboard sleeve, and we have a tin box with Kaweco embossed on that, a very good retro styling on that, and the box reveals this pen which is placed in this inner recess of a slightly velvety feel, and it has 3 indentations which we discussed in our Lilliput review, and the pens can be placed like this, and there is a space for placement of converters also if you are carrying this alongside. So a very unique pen, and we'll see how different this is from the other fountain pens and the other range of Kawecos. Kaweco Supra Brass is a large size heavy weighted brass pen, and this is got many unique things about this. It is a clipless pen. It's a complete cylindrical design. There are rounded edges, but then no taper, cigar tapers like the normal pens. It has a step in the body here, and there is a reason for that, and while we are discussing the parts of the pen, we'll come to that shortly. Kaweco is embossed, laser blasted on the top finio. It's a rounded finio, and here we would see a very faint laser etching of Kaweco Supra, Germany. The cap unscrews. Again, like in Lilliput, we have to take more than 3 turns to just unscrew the cap off, which is something of a put off for me. Because I have to remove the cap multiple times while I am working, and this is the very good size, large size nib, which is commensurate with the size of the pen. You can see it holds on pretty well in size as the dimension of the pen. It has Kaweco company branding etched onto that with a bit of design on this. A medium size nib feed. The writing section is comparatively small. And then you have the barrel. The barrel has 2 components, and the step here is because this section can unscrew from the middle sections. I'll just show you. If you want to ink it with a bigger cartridge and you want to hold it without posting, this is the way you do it. You don't have to take off this section. So you can hold it, although this cap can be posted on this thread, but if you post this cap on a complete barrel, you see that it gives a lot of weight to the pen, and it's not very comfortable to hold for long writings. So I would not suggest that. Instead, you can unscrew this barrel. Here I'm using a Kaweco converter. You can take off the converter and use a cartridge instead, and from this section you remove this. We place the cartridge inside. This would screw on top of that, and the cap would come behind this. Now it again gives the same form as the previous one, but here you have to again remove the cap and then put it in front. So the dimension of this, now this becomes a different size of a pen altogether. This is now comparable to Kaweco Lilliput. You see how the dimensions compare now? So this becomes almost the same as that. So again, the main problem is that every time you have to use the pen, you'll have to remove it and you'll have to post it. Otherwise, you cannot use the pen. And once you post it, you can easily use. So, but we'll come down back to the way it was. I think I'm doing it wrong. Yep, yeah. So I put this here and I put this section, and then I'm able to use it. So the bottom of the pen doesn't have any etching on this. It has these threads to post the cap. So here's the pen for you. It's a good weighted pen, and in size comparison it goes on with a Pelkin 200, and here we have a Jinhao 149. The main issue with this pen is, here you see, it simply slips off because it doesn't have a cap on this. So we have to make sure how you put it on the table, because it has a tendency to slip off very easily. but the pen is made to write, so it's an excellent writer, and we'll come to the writing sample now. So this is there's a bit of hard start because I have not been using this pen for a long time. This is a Kaweco Supra brass with medium nib, and it is a steel nib, and the ink is diamond ancient copper. This is a very good smooth writer, and it's got a wet nib. It's more than a moderate wetness to that. It's a very smooth writer. I'm not sure whether I had to ground it or not. I don't think I had to work much on this, and right out of the box it started writing very well. The nib of this pen I really like. It's a large size nib, and Kaweco generally has proportionate nibs to the size of the pen, except for a couple of models. I think it's Elegance, where the nib is slightly shorter than the actual dimension, which I didn't like in proportion. But this is a very good nib. So while writing also, it gives a good feel as you write. The weight of the pen is very good, and it's a steel nib, so you won't find that flexibility or bounce to it. But then you just can't be deprived of the way it writes. All Kaweco pens are writing perfect out of the box, and the Lilliput so is with the Supra brass. I really like the writing of the pen. Again, the downside to this is that every time I have to write, I have to just unscrew it multiple times and start writing. With a steel nib, you can't expect much of line variation, so there is not much which we can squeeze out of that. Reverse writing is not very pleasant, not very happy with that. It's very scratchy, and you can see that the ink hasn't come down very well with it. Otherwise, this is an excellent writer. So after we've dealt with the writing, we come to the looks of the pen. This is a brass pen, and I'll just take some time and I'll fast forward that section. While I am doing it, I'll just try to show you how beautiful the pen is in its form when it is shipped, and over a period of time. Obviously, brass has a bit of blackness over it, so the shine depletes over time. So we'll see how it actually ships, how it actually comes to you when it is brand new shipped. So I'll go through that polishing part. For that, I've got a Autosol metal polish, and we have Nuvus polishing papers, so I use them. I'll just remove this from here. Here we are with Kaweco brass polished. See, very good shine to it. The difference you will appreciate when I remove the barrel. So you see, I'm not very sure. There is a yellow tint to this, and the metal, the brass is which is now rust free, is shining brilliantly. An excellent writer, highly recommended, a good writer. So you can go for this. Couple of downsides: you have to unscrew it multiple times. It slips off the table. It's a clipless pen, but otherwise, it's a go-getter. It's a good writer. Thanks.